Hi there, it's John, and welcome to the channel. Friday, December the 13th. I've got the big blue mug of coffee this morning. I hope you're having a great day so far, just after 5 o'clock. Merry Christmas to you and yours. I'm going to tie a couple of things together, and folks, it is frightening what is coming here in this country. And I've mentioned Trudeau's desperate, and I think we're getting to the real desperation right now, and it could be desperate for Canadian citizens very soon. Okay, so what's going on right now between Canada and the United States? Well, the border issue is still an issue. Donald Trump, 25% tariffs if we don't shut down our border and have more security there. And I said 3-4 weeks ago, all we have to, this is not an issue at all we have to do is say we're going to do something and get it done. Now, from what I understand, the feds will have a border plan very soon, but we'll have to wait and see. We're running out of time. Okay, we're running out of time because a Christmas break is coming up, which lasts 5 or 6 weeks. Now, yesterday, I did a video late in the afternoon. Danielle Smith, the Premier of Alberta, said in a news conference that they're spending some money. They're going to bolster the border between Canada and the United States because we have a relationship with the United States we want to maintain by selling them our oil. It's very, very important to Alberta and to Albertans and to me and to Canada as well. But here's the thing. I started thinking last night, what the hell is going on here? I mentioned in a video either yesterday or the day before that Doug Ford says, and I'm going to read this. This is from the CBC website. Let me read this to you. Ford suggested that Canada could cut off energy supplies to the United States. Canada sends a significant amount of oil, natural gas, and electricity south of the border. We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, he said Wednesday. Now, what does that mean? Because the energy that goes to Ontario comes through Alberta. There is a pipeline that runs from Alberta, the Enbridge pipeline. It ends up going through Michigan. They want to shut it down there. At least the climate cult in Michigan wants to shut the Enbridge pipeline down. But it goes to my hometown of Sarnia, where it is refined in Sarnia. So Doug Ford is talking about shutting off energy to the United States that comes directly through Canada. Yesterday in that news conference, Premier Danielle Smith.
Well, let me be clear from the Alberta perspective. Under no circumstances will Alberta agree to cut off oil and gas exports. We don't support tariffs. I don't support tariffs on Canadian goods, and I don't support tariffs on U.S. goods because all it does is make life more expensive for everyday Canadians and everyday Americans. So instead, we're taking a diplomatic approach and we're meeting with our allies in the U.S. We're making the case for Alberta oil and gas to be part of the solution to energy affordability, to energy security, and to, generally speaking, North American defense security as well.
So what the hell is going on here? Danielle Smith says under no circumstances will we cut off oil and gas. That's our oil. Doug Ford in Ontario says he will. That's Alberta oil. It's refined in Sarnia, my hometown, as I just mentioned. So what the hell is going on here? Well, what is Justin Trudeau doing while we've got the premiers of our provinces talking about the border issue? Trudeau's off talking about how the United States made a mistake by not voting in the first female president. We had a video on the show just the other day about that. And then he shows up and he starts bad-mouthing Donald Trump again. So I'm thinking overnight, what the hell is going on here? The federal government hasn't really announced a plan. Probably the most important thing they need to deal with right now is the border issue. All Trudeau has to be saying is doing what Danielle Smith is doing, walking in front of a camera and saying, we are spending this much more money on our border. We're putting more Canada Border Service Agency people on the border. We're going to be checking for drugs. We're going to be going along the border like Roxham Road in places in the country on the longest undefended border in the world. And we're going to ensure that people are not going into the United States who could do them harm. That's all he has to do. But instead, he's picking a fight with Donald Trump. So I get up this morning and I see a video posted by Ezra Levant. And he's putting 2 and 2 together like I am, and this is what he had to say.
Trudeau is picking a fight with Trump. That's not smart. Here's Trudeau saying that Americans are regressive, sexists, for not voting for Kamala Harris.
Now, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
And here's Trudeau a couple of days earlier saying that Americans are too stupid to understand who they chose in the last election. They're not being really thoughtful like he wants them to be.
Thank you for your thoughtfulness. I hope some of the things I said actually, pierce through the haze of challenging situations everyone's in. Canadians are fundamentally thoughtful about the kind of future we want, the kind of solutions we're going to put forward to improve our communities, to improve our neighborhoods, to build a better set of opportunities for our kids. And every election is about that as we approach what will be an election year next year. And my only request for everyone is to be really thoughtful and go into the choices you make with eyes wide open. I think there's a number of folks in different countries, and I won't point out any particular one, where folks are going to be wondering about the choice they may be made in elections. Let's not be that kind of country in Canada. Let's be deliberate about the choices we make.
So again, that's from Ezra Levant's show. I'll put a link in the description to the video so you can watch the whole thing. But that's where we are in this country right now. That's the desperation I've been talking about. Trudeau is going to pick a fight with Donald Trump to show that he's tough, that he's standing up to the United States of America, that he's standing up to Donald Trump, that he has some testosterone running through his skinny little body, and he's going to put the Canadian economy in jeopardy because he wants to be reelected in the fall. This is where we are right now in this country. This is how bad things are under Justin Trudeau. I say I feel like I'm under attack all the time in this country now because it's like a never-ending barrage of nonsense that we get from the federal government. Now, as far as Danielle Smith goes, I'm wondering if she's a closet separatist because, for goodness sakes, I've mentioned a couple of times what Smith has been doing in this province. She's been talking about an Alberta pension plan. I hope she goes through with that. It's a good idea for Alberta. Our own police force, the Sovereignty Act, fighting Ottawa over our oil and gas here, and now having our own separate border security with the United States of America. It's looking like she's a bit of a Wexiteer, baby, a Wexiteer, and maybe we need to get the hell out of this damn country because Justin Trudeau can do a lot of damage before we get to an election in October. Thanks for watching.